Why do you feel that it's worthwhile to continue using restorative practices?
It's worthwhile to continue using restorative practices because I'm afraid that if we don't, that we would revert back to the way things were before we implemented restorative practices, which was a very negative environment. There was students solved their problems by fighting. Was a lot of fighting every day, all day long, and it was very difficult for learning to take place. Teachers could not get through one entire lesson without there being some kind of disruption to the learning environment. I would not want to go back to an environment like that. And our whole school culture was transformed by the implementation of restorative practices. So I would be very afraid to stop doing it.
How do you feel restorative practices has helped you grow in your career, in your profession, in your application? I mean, however you want to apply that, but just how has it impacted your growth as you?
So, I've taken the training that I received in restorative practices and really have applied it beyond just in my workings with students. Just as a principal, I think that when a child was sent to my office with a note from the teacher about what happened, I used to just take what the teacher wrote in the note and say, this is what happened, and look at this child and say, why did you do that? And I don't ask that question anymore. When a child comes to my office, the first thing I say is, what happened? And I listen. And as a result of that, students, no matter how angry or upset they may be, or in the heat of an altercation, when I appear and I say, come with me, they come with me with no resistance, because they know that once they get in my office, they're going to have a chance to tell their side of the story, and I'm going to listen. And usually I find out that the truth is somewhere in the middle, that maybe something happened, not that the teacher was being dishonest, but something may have happened that the teacher didn't see before the disruption, and I just get a fuller picture when I give the child a chance to tell me what happened, and I listen. And since I've experienced that working so well in that situation, I've applied the same concept in other areas of my life, in my dealings with teachers, and even in my relationships at home. It's probably improved my marriage. I've learned to just sit and listen to my husband when there's an issue, and instead of making assumptions or jumping to conclusions, I'll just say, okay, tell me what happened, or tell me what you're feeling. Tell me what you were thinking at the time. And if my husband hears this and knows that I'm using professional training that I got on him, I don't know if he'll be too happy, but it works. So, I just think in all relationships, because one of the things that I realized about restorative practices is that it's not really something that you do, it's something that you are. And, we at this school, we are restorative now. We don't do restorative practices. We are a restorative school. We are restorative in our relationships. And I think that once you become a restorative person, you're a restorative person in all of your relationships, not just at work.
Well, that's fantastic. So I know you've, over the years, you've had a number of stories that you've shared and all of that. And if you can't come up with one, fine, whatever. But a situation with a parent, that maybe you can tell us a little story around something you did restoratively, and maybe that was, different than the way things used to be, or whichever.
Well, I think that my best parent story is really very brief.
Sure.
And not very detailed, but I think it says a lot, and
Sure.
and it's something that I'll never forget. And it was one day when I was sitting right here in my office, and I was just busy working at my desk, and I heard a parent walk into the school and say, "I need a circle with the parent of the child who keeps picking on my child." And my head just like perked up, and I thought to myself, did I just hear a parent request a circle? And to me, that was a turning point for us, because before that, parents parents get very upset, and rightly so, if they hear that there's a child in the school who's picking on their child. And they used to come in here very upset and just full of criticism about me or about the school, and they don't come in here like that anymore. They come in here asking for a circle to resolve the problem, and that's huge to me.
Oh, that's fantastic.